Blessings and greetings and blessings. Let's see if we can put on our microphone. Hopefully, the microphone is not broken. And we want to share a very special story that I saw yesterday in the Blessed Franco Shul in Kesser Crown Heights, Kesser Pisca, Turtle Island, aka USA Unified Soul Actualization. You know, we read many times in the Tanakh, the prophets or the writings, how righteous people are rewarded in very bountiful means. But here, this story is more concerning about how a very evil man, by doing one act of kindness, was blessed threefold. And that evil man was a Nazi, an SS stormtrooper. So let's read about that. Now, this took place in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. There was a man who came to the shul of a very well-known Rabbi Berowine. I once prayed in a shul when he was still in America. It was in Monsey or the environs close to Monsey. And he now is a Rav in a shul in the Rechavia section of Yerushalayim. And three young boys walked into the shul with their father. They were just 9, 7, and 5. And they had long payas and long earlocks or hair locks, or maybe people look at his dreadlocks, but we call it payot. And they didn't look Jewish with their running blonde Aryan hair and very shiny blue eyes. Obviously, the boys were unusually well behaved, and they weren't running out of their seats. Sometimes little children in the congregations of prayer all over the place, they might have a sugar high, or they want to get another child's toy. But these three children were very, very calm and staying in their seats and praying. After the prayer session, Rabbi Wein went up, who was a famous Jewish historian, to the father and asked him where he was from. And he told him he lived in Rehovot, which is a beautiful city near Tel Aviv. It's about a 10-minute drive where I was on October 1st to October 13th. It's a 10-minute drive from Maskeret Batia, a moshava, a farming village. And the guest said he was from Rehovot. And then Rabbi Wein asked him where his family came from. And then the man became uncomfortable. Rabbi Wein apologized, felt bad about that, and asked him maybe he was a Baal Tshuva, a returnee at later age in life. He wasn't born into the Judaic tradition. And the man explained that he was actually a righteous convert, a ger, a convert to Judaic living and culture. And that he'd been born in Germany. And with that off his chest, he continued to tell how he embarked on his unusual and fascinating spiritual journey. And we say in Yiddishkeit, or Judaic lifestyle, Mosaic, following the Mosaic laws. Not only was he German, but his father was a dedicated Nazi and a war criminal who spent 10 years in prison after the Second World War. The son went to study microbiology in a college in the United States, and he started to interact with Jews for the first time. And he was quite surprised to see how friendly they were with him, despite the fact they knew he was from Germany. And in Germany, he had learned about what his people had done to the Jews. So he was trying to see these extremes. On the one hand, how his own nation treated the Jews, and based on their misperceptions, satanic inclinations to kill so many people. And by the way, it wasn't just Jews. They started off with their own people, the mentally ill, the development disabled, the cripples, saying it was a burden on the German economy. You can see translated versions of newspaper advertisements, maybe probably even news articles or interviews with those social engineers, those wicked social engineers at the time of Nazi Germany. But he felt very comfortable with the Jews when he was at college. So he got his bachelor's degree in America, and he enrolled in Hebrew University in Jerusalem. And he sought out and attained a postgraduate degree. And as well, he started learning more about Judaic teachings. He earned his PhD in microbiology and was involved in researching many life-saving cures. At the same time, too, he studied with some rabbis and converted and became a Jew according to halacha, Jewish law. So things went on, and then one day, after he had made the decision that he was going to break off all contact with his father, who was a former SS soldier, he got a phone call from his mother, and his mother told him that his father was passing on, and if he could see him one more time. And again, it's not so far, Israel from Germany. It's supposed to like say America to Israel, or even America to Germany, for that matter. Anyway, he asked some rabbis, and they said yes, he should still have gratitude, even though his father had lived a wicked life. He should go see him and pay his respects, and most probably his last respects to him. And he took his 3 sons to Germany. He went to the hospital his father was, and his father could barely look at his beautiful offspring because they looked so Jewish and religious. After exchanging greetings and some small talk, the son, unable to control it, declared firmly, "Clearly, you must have done some good deed that you have merited 3 such wonderful grandchildren. What is that you did?" he asked his father. And the grandfather at first was unable to think of any good action of his that might have resulted in what happened. Finally recalled that he once led a group of murderous SS troops into a Catholic orphanage. It was very common that the Catholic orphanages had actually taken in Jewish children to protect them from the Nazis. May blessings be upon those members of the Catholic Church in that particular time of history for their acts of courage, and basically they were looking into the face of death if they were caught. And also they were going not necessarily in the direction of the Pope of that time, who was collaborating with the Nazis at some level when the Nazis went into Italy and they asked for the Jews, and they told him, if you refuse us, we will give in. But if you don't refuse, for perpetuity, forever, you'll be known as the Pope who gave away the Jews that were in Italy that we were going to take away to kill. So obviously there were some righteous people, pious members of the nations that were protecting little Jewish children. So this Nazi grandfather mentioned that at first he was not able to find any of the children that looked discernibly Jewish or spoke Yiddish. They probably had ways of tricking the children into speaking things that would be ample testimony that in fact they were Jewish. Chaim. The father then said he saw 3 children. He was most certain they were Jewish, but he felt pity upon them, and he turned his eyes to the side, and they quickly escaped from that danger he represented. The son shouted, "Father, why couldn't you have not found a 4th or 5th child to save? Neither my wife nor I have, neither myself or my wife have infertility problems. Yet since the birth of our youngest child 5 years ago, we haven't been able to conceive and bear any more children. I now realize that these 3 sons we are blessed with are due to the one good deed you did." Now, the person who told this story is Rabbi Lezer Brody, a Breslover Chassid. I saw him speak once, and he's translated many wonderful books by Rav Shalom Arush, a Rosh Yeshiva. I think it's Chut Shel Chesed, a string of kindness, in the Breslov Yeshiva in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. And he gave her this story, the Sephardic Lebanese congregation in Flatbush, the Flatbush section of Brooklyn. And he drew out the following lesson. God will repay with gratitude toward those who do a good deed, even if the doer is a despicable Nazi war criminal. So if a Nazi can earn such a reward as saving if a Nazi who spared the life of those 3 Jewish children will then be rewarded with 3 righteous sons, or grandsons from his son, can we imagine which will be he will give for reward to those of us who have served him in all our lives with all our strength? Whether you're the nation of Israel, one of the Bnei Noach, the children of Noach, this is a very important lesson. None of us are toiling in obscurity. None of us know what we're going to reap when we sow acts of kindness. So let us be motivated to engage in acts of kindness at any level, with our thoughts, with our speech, with our action, in the way of Ahava Chad, one love, Gorel Chad, one destiny, all of us, a peaceful, pleasant way. It's going to next smile without a reward, a winning smile.